Pelham was a real guy. He was our ancestor who settled on this land back in the 1790s and cleared the land and planted vineyards. And the road that runs behind us is called Pelham Road, after the town of Pelham. It's myself and my two brothers today that run the winery. We've been involved from the beginning, and we each take on different roles, but have an active role in every aspect of the business, including the final composition of all the wines.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah. Winemaking is really fancy farming. Every year is a little different. From vintage to vintage, the weather changes a little bit. What that does to the way the vines produce off the soil will be affected by that. So we want to know how our soils perform in all the different scenarios that we can be confronted with. And that takes experience and time on the land. And if you understand those properties, they'll translate into better tasting, more interesting wines that are also consistent from year to year, but expressive of the vintage. We in Niagara really specialize on Chardonnay and Riesling. Sauvignon Blanc is a great white as well here. And then in the reds, Baco Noir, Pinot Noir, and to lump a couple together, Cabernet Merlot blends. It's very typical to put those three varieties together, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. Very traditional. There's a rule of thumb in food and wine matching, and it's very, very old, that the food grown on the same soil as the vineyards, in the same climate as the vineyards, will go best together. Great Ontario asparagus with our Sauvignon Blanc, our off-dry Rieslings with our local cheeses, especially some of the goats and cow's milk cheeses that you see on the market. When it comes to our locally produced beef, think of our Baco and our Cab and our lamb that's so good from not far from here. When it comes to reds, we make delicate reds like Gamay and Pinot Noir, and more rustic reds like Baco Noir, Cabernet Merlot blends that are bigger and more structured. For the delicate reds, local Ontario pork or great turkey dishes. They're like the cranberries to turkey. The bigger reds, the Baco, the Cab Merlot, put those with your roasted meats, anything off the grill, anything that's got a bit of a char to it, some marking. It's going to be super. When you're buying Ontario wines, there's a few things to think about. The wines we produce here are in the unoaked styles, and the off-dry styles and the fresher styles are best consumed young, and that's what they're built for. And that's kind of the winemaking philosophy behind most of them. The wines that are the bigger reds are very structured. They're like a lot of the old world reds, and they really unravel with time and open up and are really delicious. They're very cellar worthy. Buy them for birthdays and special occasions and put them away so you can drink them the following year and years after that. If I met somebody who's never tried Ontario wines, I would have to introduce them to our sparkling wines first. I think they're a great entree into what we're doing here. Sparkling wine is our next ice wine. It's our new calling card. Many regions around the world can lay claim to a style and a grape variety. I think Ontario and Niagara in particular has done that with ice wine, but we can definitely do that on a bigger scale with sparkling wine. And these are wines that are the most competitive of anything we make, you might argue, right now, and the most exciting for me every day. In Ontario right now, the value for money is fantastic. It's never been better. You can get fantastic Chardonnays and Rieslings and Pinot Noirs and Cabernet Merlot blends and sparkling wines that rival the best in the world for a fraction of what you would pay for the similar quality wines from other places. But I don't think people should take my word for it. They should just buy the bottles and try them side by side, or just enjoy them on their own. They're really fantastic.